Hey boos, this is Whitney and I'm doing another Big Sister Talk, and this time I'm coming at y'all with my first Big Sister girl talk. Not girl talk, I think I want to call this a story time. That time that I went on a date with a serial killer. And I want to point out some lessons in this story. So I'm gonna make this quick. So way back when a young girl was a hot girl, I'm gonna say this, and this is the first lesson of this whole video. Never talk to people because you're bored, and stop with all that trying to be nice. I'm just gonna see where it goes stuff. If you don't like a person, move on from that. Trust yourself with that and just be okay with that. Back in the days, I was what you call a nice girl. It would be plenty of people I didn't like, but I would end up with somehow because I felt bad for them, or they were persistent enough, or I'm just like, you know what, I'm being kind of mean, and I will always reason myself out of my original thought about that person, even though my first thought was usually correct about the person. But again, being bored, bored and pretty, and not knowing what to do with myself, and just like, maybe I should talk to this person. It's like I always had to be talking to somebody, and it wasn't always even because I loved them or liked them, and I wasn't always sexually or even romantically involved, but just passing time. I'm gonna tell y'all this much better stuff to do with y'all time. So that's lesson number one. So I was bored, and there was this particular guy. He was always trying to get at me. He was asking people around the neighborhood about me. And I'm like, oh, heck no. That was my first response. I knew a couple of his exes. I'm like, I ain't finna, One thing I'm a person who look at a man exes. You dated a couple people I think is a little, then I'm like, I'm not finna sleep behind so-and-so. I'm not gonna date behind so-and-so. So my initial thought was, heck no, absolutely not. And I told him that, no. He went and inquired about me to my brother's dad, baby mom, I guess you want to call it, family, close to kin. I'll just say that. He went and inquired about me, and he was like being told that I was this good girl. He needed to keep pursuing me, all this and that and the third, right? So he just kept pursuing me. I think he pursued me for at least a year, and I would not give him my phone number, nothing, right? But again, like I said, boredom. So one day in particular, I happened to be off from work because I was in school at the time, and I was working as well. I was at MA school. I was working for the hospital system, and I had already had a son. So I was off that day, and my baby was at school, and I was home checking the mailbox, right? And he came up behind me, boo! I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm home. So at this point, where I live. This is before everything went crazy with him. He's like, man, you're so fine. I'm just kind of ready to talk to you. How about we go to Wet n Wild? Anybody from the Central Florida area know what Wet n Wild is? How about we go to Wet n Wild? I said, I'm still not gonna give you my number, but yeah, I ain't got nothing to do